today in Columbia, Missouri.
There you go.
Yeah. Is this too close or should we? Once again, thank you all for coming out today and assisting us in getting this important message out. I am making a 4-city tour of our state today, of which this is the 3rd stop, to talk about a very specific ethics reform proposal. My proposal is singular in nature. It is not a 14-point plan or a 3-point plan. It is focused on one subject. My proposal states that basically that I am calling on my friends in both parties, among elected officials and candidates, and I am daring my fellow Republicans and daring my fellow Democrats to join me in supporting an ethics reform proposal that will make it against the law for a sitting elected public official to, while holding public office, serve as a campaign strategist, consultant, and/or fundraiser for other elected officials and for unelected or non-incumbent candidates for those offices. The temptation is to go down the road toward the commingling or the intermingling of the public trust, which we take an oath to the Constitution and to support the Constitution and do your duty by the people. And the danger is commingling or intermingling that sacred public trust with private interest. And that is what has to be avoided in our state government. I cannot look backward. My proposal cannot look back retrospectively and change past events. I can only look from this point forward and say that in order to restore the public trust, the full measure of public trust, the public trust that the public has a right to expect in elected officials, that this reform measure is needed. I am not here to engage in recriminations or denunciations of any individual. I am very serious about this, though. It is a subject that I have stewed on, if you will, for months and months and months. I was very close to coming out with a public statement in the month of May, even during the legislative session. Declined to do that because it's been my experience that other elected officials in Jefferson City, were going to work their will on the legislative session and its process, and we're not terribly interested in what the Lieutenant Governor had to say. I am out here today to focus singular attention on this one topic in the hopes that others will join me. Now, I will say that I also came very close to making this same statement nearly 5 weeks ago at the end of May at the Republican State Convention in Branson. I declined at that time. You get a lot of advice when you're kibitzing with friends and counselors and staff on something like this, and I declined to do it owing to the fact that many of you will recall the main circus act in town that weekend was our friends, the Ron Paul supporters, who kind of sucked all the media oxygen out of that weekend's event, and I wouldn't have gotten much attention with it today. Here on Tuesday, the 1st of July, here I am making this plea, and I've been very gratified just in the first few hours of my announcement tour at those who have stepped forward to join me. My first initial press availability was on the Courthouse Square in Springfield today in Greene County. I was joined by 2 state representatives, Representative Jim V. Brock and Representative Dennis Wood from Branson. I just came from Kansas City, where I was joined by 2 more state representatives, also Republicans, Gary Duesenberg and Brian Yates. They are all proud to stand with me on this reform proposal. I am hopeful that as this day wears on, we will see other elected officials in both parties join with me in acknowledging the need to first endorse and then commit to pass this much needed reform.